we are going to start the class right now. So I hope everyone is doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the people that are joining. So we're gonna jump in straight up right now. So today we are going over conditional statements. A quick recap from what we were doing last time. Last time we were doing, pretty sure it was functions. No, it was list, tuples, and dictionaries. So the three data types, we will be doing a little bit with that today as well. So without further ado, let's just jump in. And a quick heads up, today we have a small quiz, a warm-up quiz, not a fully test, not a test, it's a quiz. And the test will be tomorrow. So keeping that in mind, let's jump in. Okay, so we're going to be starting with our slideshow like normal. So what is a conditional statement? As I said, we're going over conditional statements today. So a conditional statement is an if and else. So an example would be like, if it's cold, I want to drink hot chocolate, but if it's hot outside, I want to drink chocolate milk. So if it's cold outside, I want to drink something hot, don't I? Or else I'm gonna freeze. Basically, I'm gonna be cold. But if it's hot outside, I want to drink something cold. So that's that. So there are three major conditional statements. One's an if, second one's an elif, and the third one is an else. So an if statement is the first condition ran that is run. So you won't find an if statement after an if statement usually, like right after it on the next line, as soon as the if ends. So the syntax is something like this. You have if, and then you would put the condition, or you would put the operation, and then colon, put a colon, and then put the code you want to do. And what is an else if? What is an elif? An elif usually happens if the statement before it didn't execute. Usually you won't see an if statement after an if statement because there will be an elif after that. So the syntax is elif condition, and then you would put the code that would run for the condition if the condition is true. So an else statement is executed when all conditions before it don't execute. And I'll show you the syntax for it. But this is usually when, like, if it's cold outside, I will drink hot chocolate. But else if else is hot outside, then I'll just drink chocolate milk. But if it's neither hot or it's neither cold, I'll go outside for a walk maybe. So that's that. So some case studies we will be doing today are a basic heads or tails coin flipping app. So there's going to be a function. As soon as you call it, wait 3 seconds, and then it's going to output heads or tails. So, and basic weather decisions. Like I said, if it's hot, drink hot chocolate. If it's hot, if it's hot, eat something. If it's cold, eat something else. And we're gonna make our calculator that we made a little bit more advanced, as I would like to call it. So, with that said, that's the end of our slideshow. So let's jump into the coding part. So I'm going to close my slideshow out. And we will be opening up Python, which is our code editor. Python is probably, I would tell you, the best coding editor for Python. So as soon as that finishes, where are this open? Okay. So never mind this. I opened the wrong project. First, file, basic project, of course. This window. So we have this project. I'm on a different computer, that's why it's some different code. But we will be getting started with the basics. So you might have noticed this one time I wrote if name is equal to name. Well, that's actually a conditional statement saying, so let's write it, if underscore underscore name. So if name, so if the name right now that's running this file is equal to name. Okay, so I like to describe it as if the name of the file that's running this is this file. So let's write a comment after that. Put a hashtag over here saying executes when file name is main.py. Okay. When the file name is playing main.py, when the file name is main.py, right? Well, you might be asking me, what if I create a new file called turtle.py? Just for out of curiosity, you call it turtle.py. Well, you're gonna say that underscore underscore name is equals to underscore underscore turtle, but you would be wrong because if name is equal to main means if the name of the file is equal to the current name of this file. So if the name of the file that's running this is equal to the name of this file, then run the following code. So this is usually off standards unless you're trying to make a module. No one really uses it, so we're just gonna get rid of it. But yeah, so let's jump in by first making the heads or tails point out. So to make this, what we have to do is we have to create. Let's just put a comment up here saying we're gonna make it heads or tails from now. So heads or the stop point flipping. What this is gonna do? We're gonna define the function. Define select underscore point. Okay. We take flip underscore flip point. So we're gonna be returning. We could have made this, but we have two ways to make this. First, create an array that has heads or tails, and then just use random.choice. But that would be basic, but that's not really that fun. So what we're gonna do is when we have a flip coin method, we're gonna put something in the flip coin method. Okay, so this is the chance of getting heads. So chance underscore of underscore getting underscore heads. Chance of getting heads. Okay, we're gonna say if random dot choice, so not random dot choice. First, we need to import random at the top. So if you know the import statement, if you know the keyword to import something in Python, that this is a small pop quiz. You will have if you know what it is, please put that in the chat. So I'm going to be seeing that. So if you know the name, the thing to import something in Python, please put it in the chat. So I'll be waiting for a second. So it looks like we didn't get anything here, but yes. So I think that's useful. But yes, you did the correct thing. It's import, but you wrote import, but that is no problem. So let's just put import random at the top. So we want to import a function called random in that function. We need to import a module called random. I think it's a package, but I'm not sure. but so we have to write import random. And then if random dot random, I think it's by default gonna return a float. But what we're gonna do is we can get a random number from 1 to 100, and then we can say, and then divide that by 100, so we can get it into decimal, and then we will take it from the chance of getting heads. Okay. But we have random dot random, so let's just see what it prints first because I might not be correct here. So I'm gonna comment that out. I'm gonna print. So I'm gonna write something called pass in here. I didn't really tell you what this was, but what pass does is it just creates an empty function, a placeholder function is what I like to call it. So it means there is no code in this function, so you would likely not even execute it. So we have that, so let's print random dot random. Pretty sure that's the function. So let's run it. Yeah, so it returns us a decimal, which is exactly what we want. So if you execute this code as soon as you run it, we're going to see something like this in here in the terminal. You're going to see a huge decimal, which is what we want. So let's just get rid of this. So we can remove that pass, and then the comment we did there, just use control slash to get rid of it. If the random dot random is greater than the chance of getting our heads, so we're gonna have a little bit of an Easter egg in here. We're gonna add chance. We're gonna get a chance of getting heads, which by default is gonna be half. Okay, so 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 for default, and then if it executes, if it happens perfectly, what we're gonna do is we will do the function. So you want to print. So that's how if statements work. You have to do a conditional statement. So if the random dot random, which is in this case it's 1.161711194. Print heads. So what this is, random dot random, get a random number, decimal number, and then use this operation to check if it's greater than the chance of getting our heads, which is also going to be a decimal. Then we want to print heads, and by default chance of getting heads is 0.5, so we don't get any errors. So we're working with errors. And then else, we're going to say, so else it was less than, so we don't have to write an if again. So we just write print else. So we're gonna write left coin, just like that. And then if I run this, we got tails. Run it again, we got tails. Run it again, we still got tails. Okay, finally we got heads. And I think, yeah. So to make this a little better, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use, instead of a random dot random, we're gonna use rand int. Okay, and then that rand int expects two numbers. So hover over it, and then it's gonna show us the documentation. It expects two numbers, which is the range. The range is gonna be from 0 all the way 1 0 0 0 0 0 0. There's gonna be from the range of 1 through 1 million, 1 billion. Let's just do 1 billion. So that's 1. So that's 9 zeros. Okay. from 1 to 1 billion, and I think there's a feature in Python where we just put underscores in it. Yeah. So in Python, there's another feature. If you have a huge number that you need to visualize, you can put underscores between it. So 1, this is where the comma would be, and 3 zeros add another underscore, and 3 zeros add another underscore. So it allows us to visualize the number in this way. After this, random.rand ints 1 through 1 billion, and you might be telling me, well, it's obviously going to be less than. To make it greater than, sometimes, what we want to do is we want to put divided by, so I'm going to put this in a parentheses just to visualize it. So random.rand ints, we're going through 1 billion, and then what we're going to do, as soon as we get that number, we're going to divide it by 1 billion. So let's just copy this number over. So after doing this, we will get a decimal number. But you might be telling me, what if it goes below? It's okay since we need to check, obviously. So random.randoms, then we do that, then we have a chance of getting heads, and then we get that. So flip coin, and this is still going to be a decimal, so don't worry. And if I run this time we got heads. Our logic is a little different, so there's a better chance that we get tails. But let's make the chance that we get tails smaller. Okay, so to do that, we're going to remove all this, and then just put 1 0. So we're going to go until 10. 0 to 10, and then divide that by 10. So what this essentially is going to do is we're going to move 1 decimal to the left. So it's going to be, if we get 10, then it's going to be 1. If we get 5, it's going to be 0.1. No, it's going to be 0.5. So that's what we're going to do. And I run it, we get heads. But there's a small chance as soon as I run it again, we got tails. See? So we have 0.5. Let's make the chance of getting heads. We're gonna ask the user to have a chance of inputting getting heads. If I just make this 1, we'll see what happens. We still get tails. Well, there is heads is actually a basic logic gate that we're gonna use. So what the logic gate is gonna do, it's gonna help us out in this. So we have our flip coin function, which is we have a 1, but that's just making our chance smaller. Because look, we only get tails now. We never get heads. If I make this 0.1 though, there's no chance it's gonna be tails anymore. There's a very small chance it's gonna be tails. If I make this 0, there's 0 chance it's gonna land on tails. If I keep running, what? It's gonna land on tails. Okay. So Python is a little confusing, but we got that. So let's just make this 0.5 again, 0.5. So what if we make this 0.6? But let's ask the user this time. So chance. So inputs _4 chance underscore of underscore getting underscore heads equals input. We get our input, and then the prompt is going to be DEC for decimal space. Okay, and then we're going to wrap this entire thing in parentheses, and we're going to write float at the end. And I think we need to put 1 more and enter, since this is I don't know what to call it. Since this is Pepe standard, so we have to put 2 lines after everything. So part 8 is basically a style guide for writing Python code. So keep that in mind. Input for chance of getting heads, float input deck, yeah. And then we get, instead of doing that, it's a float. So we can write here, input for chance of getting heads. Just write that in, and then run it. So we have a decimal. Let's write 0.000. Right, 0.5. So I'm gonna say I want tails. Okay, I'm gonna use 0.5. I got tails. Am I controlling this thing? It kind of seems like I'm controlling this thing, because every time I say head, tails is gonna be tails. So let's try doing that again. Run. I want tails this time. I get heads. So it's kind of alternating between those two. If you can notice it, it's alternating between the two. But our chance of getting it, the logic gate, is actually helping us out. It's pretty important. And without it, we would get some random numbers every time, which we would have to rely on to try to get heads or tails, which would be pretty complicated and weird. So that's it for our coin flipping app. So let's create a new Python file. So create a new Python file in the course. So right click new Python file. Then we're gonna call this let's call this the weather decisions. And once you do that, click up here, come up here, curve file. So like that. And then we want to import. No, we don't want to import anything. We want inputs. So weather underscore inputs is equal to inputs prompt weather angular braces space. And then after that, what we want to do is write an if statement. If the weather input is equal to cold, colon, oh wait. So I put a mistake here, and can anyone tell me what mistake I made? I didn't make a mistake. You can see the error, but tell me what I forgot up there, which is returning an error. So the error actually is not these two equals. This is a conditional. This is an operation in Python. We have, this is just to check if these two things are equal to each other, because one equal, we use it to define a variable, don't we? Well, the second equal is just so that Python can understand that we're trying to check if two things are equal to each other. And we also had is, which is strong equals. And other languages is just 3 equals, but we're gonna use equals. And I think we went over this. No, we didn't. Or did we? No, I didn't. We didn't. Is basically, what is basically does is, it's a strong equal, so it's for arrays and everything, but you won't really need it. So, and if you want to check if it's not equal to, you can put an exclamation point before it. But if you want to check if it's not, if something is not, so you can just write is not. That's, if weather input is not cold, we're gonna, so let's just remove the not since kind of dumb. We're gonna, if weather input is cold, we're gonna print drink, or no, yeah, drink hot chocolate, suppose. But if it's hot outside, so else, there's a feature in Python that I really like. If you don't need to hit backspace as soon as you have indentation. You can just write else colon. As soon as you write the colon, it's just gonna shift back. And then else, if it's cold outside, then we want to do print eat ice cream. But what if the user puts something? What if the user puts? What if the user doesn't put hot or cold? What if they put some random stuff? We're gonna say else instead of eat ice cream. We're gonna say else inputs correct data. Okay, and then here we're gonna write else if colon. No, not else if. I'm a C# developer. That's how it happens. But we have to write else colon, and then the condition is gonna be if the weather input is hot. We're gonna say print eat ice cream. That, and then we run this. So we have a syntax warning. That syntax warning is because we're using a string and another string with the is literal. Well, that's usually not. That's often. Don't do that in Python. That's a bad practice. So what you do is instead of the is, we write the two equals. So just hold down Alt. I think. Yeah. So hold down Alt and then highlight those two things, remove them, and put two equals. So that'll get rid of our syntax warning. And here, let's put in our weather. So it's going to be hot outside. It's telling us to eat ice cream. But if it's cold outside, it's telling us to drink hot chocolate. But if I put it just says input correct data, and we'll put something wrong and like SBAK. Yeah. So with for weather decisions, that's all there is for it. I'm going to keep it. If you guys still need to code it, I'm going to put it on the right side to minimize this. But if you're done with it, you can follow along. Right click on the course, new Python file, and we're going to call it suppose. So this is our advanced calculator. So advanced calc. And then we want to create a new Python file for that. So, and I'm going to put it over here just so you guys can see the old code. Like that. Please function correctly. Like that. So, in our advanced calculator, we want to make it with if statements so that every time we get something new, the user can put in plus, minus, subtract, divide, sine, cosine, everything. All we do is we put something based on that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting inputs. We're going to store that into a variable called operand equals. And then let's say we print everything we can do. So print. So we're going to use triple quotes, hit enter twice. We can do plus, underscore, and enter, minus, and then divide, and then multiply, and then power, So we have that. We have multiply, powers, divide, minus, add, and double division is for when you want an exact integer number. So double division. Sign. It's just add sign and cosine if you know what that is. Or never mind. So we're just gonna add those 5, 6 features. Turn off and check the guide. And we have operand is equal to inputs. So operand equal to input. And then we want to say operand and then angular braces space. So we have all of our operands listed up there, and then the end user can put it in if they want to. Operand is equal to input operand. It's gonna be an integer this time. No, not equal for everything. And then we're gonna use inputs. Num and then space, and then stay on the same line, and then just hit Control D to duplicate it. Now we're gonna call it B. Okay, so we're gonna ask the user for 2 numbers, which are gonna be floats. They can enter a decimal number as well. And we can take the operand. So if, no, not if, we want to, yeah, we do need an if. So if the operand equals to plus, okay, no, not equals, plus. If the operand is plus, then we want to say, then we want to add the new 2 numbers. So print, not printing, print A plus B. Since this code is the bare bones, I'm going to copy it once. So just highlight that code, Control D. I'm going to write elif this time. This time we're going to check if it's equal to minus, and we want to check A minus B. Okay, and now that we have that correct elif, we want to copy that, enter, paste that. Okay, when that happens, so this time we're going to check if it's division. Now we're going to divide it that time. This time we want to check if it's multiplication. And then we're going to multiply that time. And then after that, we're going to check if it's powered. So Control D. We're going to check if it's powered. And we want to add another power here. So if we have powers, then like that. And then just and then this time when you double division, so A divided by B. So like that. Now, if we run it, we should have our advanced calculator also done. And I hope you can see all of them. So you can see all the operands as soon as the program runs. You have division, multiplication, powers, division, subtraction, and addition. So operand is equal to, let's just say 2 powers. So this is just a better way of doing it. Like last time we did it, that it would return all results of added, subtracted, multiplied, divide, everything. So after that, we have the number. Let's just put in 8 points. Yeah, let's just put 8. Then number 2 is going to be 34. Close. So we have 5 point something with 30 zeros after that. 30 zeros. So let's rerun it and let's do something we actually know. So let's click on that and then run it again. This time we can put in multiplication. The number is going to be 245 plus 35. I'm pretty sure everyone knows all this. It's obviously 8,575. I wonder where it got that. Oh yeah, we multiplied. So let's run that again. Operand plus num1 is going to be 345 plus 35 is equal to 308. Okay, so we have that functioning. And yeah, so this is our advanced calculator in a nutshell, but we have a little tiny problem. If I put just some random stuff, what if I thought that power addition, I had to write addition, and then and then I did the two numbers, so 12 and 5 is 17. You get nothing. So else, we're gonna copy and paste this print statement. So we're gonna reuse this code. In this case, it's not dry because we're not copying and pasting it over and over again. Please put in one of the following, and then we're gonna add right at the top. Please put in one of the following operands. And now for the ASDF number ASDF. I put an ASDF for the number. Okay, Farhan has a question. So let's see what he has.
I have a question that what is the meaning of elf?
Elif? Oh, elif?
Yeah.
Elif is a short form for else if in Python. Other languages actually require you to write else if, but in Python you can just write elif, which means if the thing before it. So if the user did not put plus, else if, then check if it did minus, then did division, then do that, and then on and on and on, and it's gonna do that. So if I run,
Thank you.
you're welcome. And Muhammad Yuhan also has a question. So let's see.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that. Can I write input when you wrote when you designated the variables? Can I write integer input num1?
Yes, you can. You can write integer, but what we have with integers is you can't actually put in decimals in integers. That's why you use floats. Floats are just better, and you can also store integers in floats. So
Thanks.
You're welcome. So we're gonna we tell that to the user. So let's actually test it out if that happened or not. So ASDF num1. It's gonna tell the user, please put in one of the following operands we have here. So we have plus, minus, division, multiplication, powering, and double division, which is that. So we have our advanced calculator done. So I'm creating a new file for everything. If you notice, everything has its own file. So advanced calculator has its own file. Main, which is the coin flipping, has its own file. Weather decisions has its own file. Well, with this, it actually just helps us out. It's better to do it, and yeah. So we are going to So after this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new Python file again. This time for something different. So I'm gonna drag this over here this time, so you guys can see the coding. And as soon as so you will be able to see the code as soon as I get another terminal. So you can see all this code. I'm going to create a new file, new Python file, and then we will call this. So we're doing conditionals, meaning, yeah, we did modules already, so we can do this. So this app is basically what this app is going to do is it's going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm drawing a blank here, but so let's try to make something different. So yeah, we have a Kahoot for our quizzes, right? What if we made our own quiz app in Python? Let's do that. So Python quiz. And you know what? I'm just gonna close these two, and then I'm gonna drag this over here. So Python quiz.py. So students, we're going to ask them a few things. And that, what is a, let's just say, what is Python? For an example, we will put A dot B dot space C dot space D dot space. So the user has 4 options to choose from. A is going to be what is Python? A type of car, a type of snake, a type of math, a type of math, and then D is going to be a programming language. So programming language. And then we want to say outputs going to be equal to. No, we want to take input, not output, so input. And we're underscore 4 underscore underscore 1. So answer for question 1 is equal to inputs. Please put in one of the letters above. And we're also gonna have right before everything in our file, we're gonna put in a variable called points. Okay, the points are gonna equal 0. And then this question, suppose, is gonna be worth. We're gonna do it like that. And this question is gonna be worth, suppose, 10 bucks. So we want to use the if statement. Or what we can do, collect all the answers and then give them the points at the end. But I just like doing the points here. Or you know what? Let's actually do that since we can get over things faster in that way. So answer for question 1. Copy that, and we're gonna paste that one more time. And this is gonna be 3 questions. What is yeah. So I am drawing a blank. What is a Python? Module. What's a Python module? Type of a programming language. 3 M's. So 3 M's. So programming language, a type of snake, a type of math, or a programming language. So a reusable piece of code. And reusable PI piece and reusable? Yeah. And a reusable piece of code, type of game, and type of like or no. I said a type of car up there, so I'm gonna put a type of car attachment. Okay, so this is gonna be question 2. And I forgot to put spaces here. Spaces are crucial because it's just gonna mush everything without spaces. What is this? And now we're gonna ask them what a variable is, what it is a variable. Cool. And then we will put a container, B, a reusable, not reusable, a container that stores a value, C, a type of fuel, and D, a program. Just put that in. And this is going to be question 2 and 3. So 2, 3. So we have that. Now we want to say if 3 times. So if, and this time we're actually not going to put an elif since we don't need that. So if answer for question 1 is equal to 2 equals. Remember to put 2 equals, and then the correct answer is D. Dot. So we're gonna make everything into lowercase. So dot lower. So what we do to make, if something is in capital, if someone put D in capital, we can just use the dot lower function to make it in small letters. So small alphabet. And then if they did that, if they put it correctly, then what we're gonna do is we're going to tell them we're gonna add their points. So each question is gonna be worth 10 points, so plus 10, plus equals. Whenever you're incrementing a variable, always put plus and equals, or else it's not going to update the variable at all. And most likely will show you in there. So if answer for question 1 is equal to D, then points plus equal 10. If answer for question 2, that lower, is equal to No, yeah, so this is D. The correct answer to this is also D. Answer for question 2 dot lower is equal to D. Then we want to say points plus equal 10. And then we want to do the third question. And then after that, we're going to do another if answer for question 3 dot lower is equal to A. No, not A, it's going to be B. Colon. And then in lowercase. Don't forget, you need to put all these in lowercase. So answer for question 3 dot lower is equal to B. Then we want to say points plus equal to 10. So after that, print score the user got. Well, how are we going to calculate the score? How are we going to display it? We're going to write F and then quotation marks. And we want to write score on the left hand, so right brackets, and then we want to write points on the left hand side. And then we want to put a divided sign, so points over. So suppose we got 1 correct, so we'll have 10 points, 1 correct over 30. So 10 points over 30 points. Okay, let's see what we get. So first question, what is Python? So I'm going to put in the wrong answer purposefully. What is a Python module? Okay, I think it's a programming language. No, yeah. So I'm just going to put random answers, and then this is B. So I'm going to get only 1 correct. So I got 10 out of 30. Well, if you got all 3 correct, then you will get 30 out of 30. I'm pretty sure everyone will be able to get all these correct. So with that said, let's jump into the Kahoots, and if we have more time at the end, we will continue coding. So I will open up the Kahoots. So I'm going to show. So this is the pin. What you want to do is you want to put in this pin, or you can scan the QR code if you have to join them. So everyone can join in here. So open up Kahoot.it, or you can just open up the Kahoot app. I don't know why it's doing that. No. So Kahoot.it. If you don't have the Kahoot app, or just open up the Kahoot app. So we have Rufan and Yusuf so far in here. You want to stay on the Zoom meeting, or else you won't be able to see the answers. So I recommend if you're on a phone, then open it on different screen. So we have 4 people in so far. Let's move the number up. And if we have enough people, if we get enough people in, we're gonna start. Or I'm also gonna put a link in the chat box, and you can use that to join the quiz. Push the link, and it'll redirect you to a page with the Kahoot. We have Terrence, we have Zen, we have Alyssa, we have Rufan, and we also have you. We have Fatan and Al as well. Okay. So everyone can still use the link in the chat box to join. So I'm gonna start it right here. If you haven't joined, you can use the link in the chat box. Start. Kahoot at work. Python warm-up quiz. 3, 2, 1, and go. Hello everyone, welcome to this quiz. This is a warm-up for tomorrow's test, and make sure to have fun in this one. So quiz. What is a variable? So you have 20 seconds to answer this. So the correct answer is a container that stores the data type. So we have Alyssa at the top. Nice. So I'm happy to see everyone is doing well in here. Which of the following symbols are not allowed in a variable? So this is multi-select. And make sure to put in ones that are not, because that might be a little mistake you might put. The correct answer is the @ the star, and then the hashtag. That's pretty good. So let's jump. And an underscore is allowed in the beginning and at the end of the variable. Okay. True or false? A variable name can have a number at the beginning of it. This one is pretty. Correct answer is false, because a variable name cannot have a number in the beginning. So Alyssa has the highest answer streak of 3, which is pretty good. What is a function in Python? A variable, a block of reusable code, all of the above, or a data type? Correct answer is a block of reusable code. A data type, it's not a data type, and not all the above. I mean, it's kind of like a variable, and it's also kind of like a data type, but mostly what you use it for is a block of reusable code. Nice. Yusuf has 4 correct answers in a row. That's nice. We have people going up here. What keyword is used to define a function in Python? Def, function, define, or call? Correct answer is def. And function is in other languages, it's not in Python. You use def to create a function in Python. So Yusuf, streak of 5. It's nice. What is the syntax for calling a function in Python? Function underscore name, function underscore name, with 2 parentheses, function name, capital N, and function name. And remember, with this question, remember what I told you about part6 standards. It's gonna help you. Correct answer is function underscore name, because if you have function name, capital N, that's not how part6 works, and you will get an error if you do that. So Yusuf is rocking and rolling with a streak of 6. What does the return statement do in Python functions? Returns a value from the function, stops the function from executing completely, prints a value to the console, or does nothing. Correct answer is returns a value from the function. What is the syntax for defining a function with arguments in Python? Function name, def underscore function name, arg1, arg2, def function name, arg1, arg2, and so on and so forth. Correct answer is def. Function name arg1 and then arg2. How do you declare a variable in Python? Using the var keyword, using the let keyword, using the const keyword, or simply assigning a value to a name? The one has to be pretty easy. Simply assigning a value to a name. You don't use the const keyword in Python. You also don't use the var keyword in Python. Those are different languages. That's JavaScript. So we have our last question. What is a module in Python? A reusable piece of code, a built-in function, a type of variable, or a loop constructor. Correct answer is a reusable piece of code. So that's the end. I hope everyone did well. Let's see the podium. Third place we have Uma. Second place we have Alyssa. I think that's how it's pronounced. So we have Yusuf on first place, which is nice. And we have runners up, Hadis and Ufa. So everyone did well. Pretty surprised. I'm pretty proud of you guys. So that's the end of it. And yeah. So we have a little bit of time left. So what should we just continue coding? And remember to join tomorrow's class, make that a priority, because tomorrow's class we have the real test, full on to a test. So I think 21 questions. So I hope everyone joins tomorrow's tomorrow's class. Yeah. So we have our Python quiz itself. So let's add a few more questions in here. Copy. And then paste. This is going to be what is a how to define a function. How do you define a variable? A equals 5. So I'm adding a little bit. I'm adding one more question in here. Let a equals 5. Var a equals 5. And then const a equals 5. Okay. So you have those 4 options, A. And the user has to pick which one is correct. This is going to be answer for question 4. And the correct answer is A for this one. So we're going to take that, copy it. Yes, Yusuf is correct. We do use var in JS. So I have a small question for Yusuf. Did you do JavaScript before? So Khan has a question.
No, I didn't have a question. I just want to clarify that most of the high-level languages or the modern languages that are today, like C# or C++, have var as for designating variables.
Yes, most modern variables do have var keywords, and I'm pretty happy to hear this. But Python is the only language that doesn't use initializer keywords. I myself have done C#, JavaScript, and a lot of other languages other than Python. So yeah, high-level languages, modern languages actually use the const keyword and let keyword and static typing. And in my opinion, static typing is basically the best thing you can do in programming. So Farhan also has a question.
I don't have a question. Can you please scroll up some?
Okay. I'm just going to minimize this. More?
Now, okay.
Thank you. So this is the third question. We're going to add the fourth question. And then the fourth question, the correct answer is A, as I said. 4 plus 8 plus 10. And this time, we're going to do point over 4. And if I run this, I think some Farhan is copying the code, so just wait. Or we can run it and I'll scroll the form. So a type, what is Python? It's like a car, snake, math, or program. The correct answer is some D. Python module is B, E, and D. So I got 40 out of 40 because I did everything right. So we so that's basically it for today's class. So yeah, that's it for today. And yeah, no. So tomorrow, make sure to join because tomorrow we have the test. So tomorrow we have a test, so make sure to join. And today, for today's homework, I want everyone to add a few changes to this. Like what I mean changes is like add a feature to add more questions, add different points, add I don't care how many questions you add hundreds of questions. You can get the user can get hundreds of points. So this is kind of like Kahoot, but it's not multiplayer. That's all there is to it. Python doesn't. I don't think you don't really do multiplayer stuff in Python. But next class we're gonna be doing loops. Tomorrow we're gonna be doing loops. So with that said, that's the end of today's class. So have a great time, everyone. Goodbye.